Good morning. So we're going to talk about another pair of boots today. Today I'm wearing West Coast Jobmasters, and the one thing that I will say about them is I have a better understanding as to why they have a 19-month lead time. Very comfortable boot and well constructed. But today we're going to talk about this boot. It is made by Drew's Boots. It is a Drew's lace to toe Roughshot, it's called. It is made in the United States. I know there's a lot of action and people talking about the boots that are made in Mexico. I will tell you that this boot here is considerably more comfortable than the boot that is made in Mexico. There's nothing wrong with the Mexican-made boot. I do wear it from time to time, but this boot is more comfortable. It does have the Red X Vibram sole. Again, lace to toe. The stitching on this boot is very, very good. You have 3 rows of stitching up here on the vamp and 3 on the heel counter, and then 3 here in the back. The leather is very, very supple. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's thick. If we measure it, we measured the Franks. They were 3.5 and 3.3. And if we measure these here, they're measuring 3.49, so roughly about the same thickness. And in wearing it, it's true to form. I mean, it feels very much, the same thickness and whatnot. But this is way more flexible than the Franks. And I'm not saying the Franks that's a bad thing for them, because it's not. That boot is built very, very, very well. The thing that I like about both of these boots is, and I mentioned it in the last video, is, when you're spending a lot of money for boots, the one thing that you want to look at is, what are you getting for value? And this boot, like the Franks, is McKay stitched. So there's a McKay Lockstitch that is underneath this sole here, underneath this tread, sole, whatever you want to call it. So what that McKay Lockstitch does is it actually stitches the midsole to the footbed. And it's just another mechanical bond to hold this boot together. So there are some companies out there. I know that NYX and JK both have opted to leave that process out, which I don't. I mean, I understand. I think I understand what they're trying to accomplish. Both those companies spend a lot of time on producing videos and whatnot. And that does have a cost. And I think NYX is also expanding, or they're rebuilding their facility. And again, there's going to be an added cost with that. And it just gives the appearance of a cost-saving measure. I don't know why you would leave, an additional process out, really, for any other reason, other than it being a cost-saving measure. So, that being said, I wear these boots 12-hour shift on concrete inside, up and down stairs. Like I said, it is very, very comfortable. Double stitched here on the stitch down. Brass hardware. I know someone had mentioned about having the phone number, below Drew's Boots, but if you think about it, that's kind of smart. If you have a problem in the field or a question, you don't have to look it up. You can just, you know, look at the side of your boot. Um, the the construction of the boot, the stitching, you know, I already mentioned how many rows, but the stitching is top notch. I mean, it is, there's no wonky stitching on it. It's a good solid boot that I really enjoy wearing. You know, and I would highly recommend this boot. And like I said, you know, I mentioned some other brands. Nicks, I don't own a pair, so I really don't know. You know, from all appearances, they look a lot like what the JKs do. You know, it doesn't appear that they have a slip sole. You know, like this boot does. This boot has a slip sole right here. So you got your leather midsole, then a slip sole, and then you've got your regular Vibram sole. But the JK and the Nicks, it appears it's just a midsole, and then the outsole is bonded right to that, and then double stitched in, you know, for the stitch down construction on the outside. These boots, you know, when you're buying boots like this, yeah, you can definitely sink some money into them. That's why I look at it and I'm like, I want to make sure I get the best value that I can. So I do have some other boots to review. I will be reviewing the JK Fire Inlander boot, and then I will also be reviewing at some point the Westco Jobmaster, which the Jobmaster boot, I mean, it has a steel shank, so it is a little bit different animal than some of the other Pacific Northwest boots. But, you know, you think steel shank, you think it's going to be harder, you know, harder on your feet maybe. It's not at all. I mean, it's very, very comfortable boot. So I was pleasantly surprised, and I like the leather. The leather is a little more, for lack of a better term, a little more crisp. And I'll kind of get into that with that boot review. But Drew's Lace to Toe Roughshot, great boot, great investment, very comfortable out of the box, and it looks like, you know, you can get, you know, several years of service out of it before, you know, you need to have a resole or a rebuild. So, but thanks a lot. If you have any comments or any questions or anything, don't hesitate to leave them. If you have any questions about any other boots that I might, you know, just name them. I might have them, and I might be able to give you a little insight on them. So thanks a lot. Y'all have a good day.